Good evening, everyone. Once again, welcome to the introduction to the program Life and Breath. People are still joining in, so just give me a minute before I proceed. I hope you can see the presentation on your screen.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Normally, all classes we start sharp at the given time, but since this is an introduction and people are new, we'll allow for some leeway. May I request all of you to switch off your microphones? You may keep your videos on, but please switch off your microphones, otherwise that will disturb the class.
Sir, good evening.
Good
Shelza
evening.
here.
Yes, Shalva.
Sir, I want to just know, we'll also do asanas today?
Nothing.
Okay.
This is just an introduction to the whole program for you to understand what you are into. Everything, we start everything next Sunday onwards.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Most welcome. Yeah, Meenakshi, you want to ask a question? Chandrakshini, you have a question? Go ahead, please ask. Since I'm waiting for people to join, you can ask. Please unmute and ask. Please unmute. Please unmute.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just need to, this is introductory session I have joined, but I will not be able to join this breathing session. Will you have another sessions again? Matlab, till the month of August, I'm busy. You will have, keep having, na?
This is an ongoing activity. So as soon as one batch gets over, another batch starts.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'll be joining. I'll attend this introductory session today and
No
I'll
problem.
join later on. Thank you so much.
Sure. Most welcome. Yes, go ahead.
Alternately, I've just joined recently a yoga class. So, is this similar breathing exercises or the technique? Just to join initially.
Yeah, that's okay. As long as the times don't clash, I don't think it should matter.
No, times are not clashing. I just want to know whether it's a different technique only, right?
Yeah, we are not doing any asanas. So I think we will begin now.
Yes, sir. And one more thing, my payment is not be going forward. My daughter tried it.
We will talk about that later. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So once again, welcome all of you. And I request all of you to keep your microphones on mute so that everybody is comfortable listening to this introduction. So for those of you who have joined for the first time, my name is Praveen Mankar. And these are my contact details, my telephone number and email. I'm a pharmacist by qualification and an industrial consultant by profession. I started learning this science in the year 2005. I became a basic course teacher in 2011, started teaching the advanced course in 2017, and started training teachers for carrying this torch forward since 2019. This program comes to you from Pratibin Charitable Trust, which is a registered body in Mumbai. We are based in Mumbai. Our office is in MIDC Andheri East, and our registration number is E33921. We all live in comfort zones, and because we live in comfort zones, we take a lot of things for granted. And I'll just share with you a couple of commodities which we take for granted. We take air for granted because it is available free. I don't have to pay for the air that I breathe. And we take water for granted, which has some cost. So if you take some thumb rule figures, 80 rupees for a cost of 20-liter bottle, which comes out to 4 rupees per liter. We drink approximately 2 liters per day. At 365 days per year, it is 730 liters per year. And if we are a 70-year-old person, we have consumed 51,100 liters in our lifetime. So we have spent about 2 lakhs of rupees in drinking water. We don't calculate in these terms that what are we consuming. And therefore, we take all these things for granted. The story about air is different. So let's have a look at the economics of breathing. A patient on oxygen in a hospital for 10 days. So let's look at this situation. And at the bare minimum oxygen delivery of 2 liters per minute with a cylinder capacity of 6,000 liters, a jumbo cylinder, at 1,440 minutes per day, oxygen consumed is 2,880 liters. In 10 days, oxygen used will be 28,800 liters, which is roughly 4.8 cylinders. Annual consumption would be about 175 cylinders. Cost per cylinder is about 850 rupees. So annual cost works out to be 1,48,920 rupees, say 1.5 lakhs. Lifetime cost for a 70-year-old individual is more than a crore, more than 100 lakhs. Now, we don't think in those terms because we are breathing air free. Now, because of the pandemic situation and people found difficulty in breathing and a lot of people were hospitalized, this became an important factor that, oh my God, I can't breathe. My lungs are unable to breathe and people are dying, gasping for air. And people have paid much more than the economics that are there on your slide. And I'm showing you bare minimum 2 liters per minute, but COVID infected patients have been administered oxygen at 10-15 liters per minute. So if you look at stark realities, we take life for granted and we take so many things in our life for granted. Let me tell you a story. The story is of a mouse. This mouse was very comfortable, running around, eating his own food, till he discovered this jar of food grain. Now this mouse became comfortable. Now he doesn't have to run around. And because this mouse became comfortable,
I don't know.
and because this mouse became comfortable, he doesn't have to run around, he started consuming the grain which was in a jar. As the level of the grain started dropping down, the mouse started entering the jar, and one fine morning he discovered that he cannot get out of the jar. He's trapped. So when we are in a comfort zone, we forget what's going on around us till we discover that we have landed in trouble. Suddenly we started hearing people asking us for, when is the course starting? Can this course help me improve my immunity? Will it protect my lungs from COVID infection? All these questions started pouring in, which is like the old saying that we start digging the well once we get thirsty. But had we paid attention to our breathing, lung capacities, immunity, we would probably not be facing such a dire situation. So we wouldn't be trapped in the situation we find ourselves trapped currently. Durvas, do you have a question to ask? You have raised your hand. Let's reserve the questions after the session so that the continuity is maintained. So today's introduction is about your life. We are talking about your life. And therefore, the title of this program is Life and Breath. Look at this picture on your screen. So you are seeing a black background with a white dot. This is how people would look at you. People would see white dot, something small, which is white and pleasant, and the rest of it is black. And this is your perspective about yourself. All your bad qualities you will see as a tiny black dot, and you have a lot of good white qualities. But the reality is neither of the two pictures that you just saw. The reality is something like this. This is what my life is. I have an element of sorrow, I have an element of anger, I have an element of jealousy, lust, greed, frustration, some complexes, fears. And this is what my life is. There are a lot of black dots in my life. And I need to address these, shall I say, anomalies in my life. So let's look at the human being. The human being, whether he is an Asian, African, Australian, European, whether he is black-skinned or white-skinned, whether he is rich or poor, literate, illiterate, Christian, Muslim, or any other religion, short, tall, thin, fat, civilized, uncivilized, belonging to a particular region, speaking a particular language, Punjabi, Malayali, gender, man, woman, age, adult, child, old, young, able, disabled, clean, dirty, healthy, unhealthy, fit, unfit, violent, calm, right, wrong. You take any discrepancy or difference between individuals, three things are common. Every human being has a body, mind, and energy. That energy we call as prana in our Indian tradition. So every human being is best described as comprising three components: a body, a mind, and something that energizes both body and mind. Then all differences vanish. Now let us look at each one of us. All of us want to be healthy. There is not a single person who would say, I want to be unhealthy. That's unlikely for any person to say. All of us want to be successful. Nobody likes defeat or failure. And all of us want to be happy in life. We want to be smiling. We don't want to be crying all the time. So these three are common factors in the human being. Then the question arises, what is life? Because we want to be healthy, happy, and successful in life. So what is life? And we all quite commonly hear this statement being made, it is a matter of life and death. And this is a very common sentence that we have read through our growing up, and we also use it in our conversations. It's a matter of life and death. So life is best understood when we compare the living with the dead. Only when we compare the dead and the living that we understand what exactly is life. So let's do the comparison. So here is a chart which will show you a stark comparison between the dead and the alive. So on the left hand side, you have the state of the person. He is dead. So what are the symptoms of the dead person? A, he does not take any action. There are no involuntary movements of a dead person. And obviously the dead body doesn't breathe. Let's look at the next stage. He's alive, but he's in coma. Again, he doesn't take any actions. There are no movements. He needs assistance in everything that he or she does. But a person in coma is breathing. Let's look at the next stage. He's alive, but he's sleeping. So in sleep, he doesn't take any voluntary actions, but there are involuntary movements. He turns around from one side to the other. And he also breathes. And you come to the state which you and I are accustomed to, alive and wakeful. Then we are taking actions in our life. We are also involuntarily moving here and there, and we are also breathing. So if we compare the dead and the living, so these are the living stages, and difference between life and death is breath. The major difference between the dead and the alive is no breathing in the dead and breathing in the alive, irrespective of what state you are in when you are alive. And since the difference between life and death is breath, we can say life is breath or breath is life. So if we make this statement, we are not exaggerating. Why am I saying this? We can undertake a fast of food and drink. You can go without food for a couple of days. You can go without water for 1 day or so. And you still continue to live. But you dare not take a fast of breath. Because the minute you stop breathing, end of story. So, if we say life is breath or breath is life, we are not at all exaggerating. We all want to live, but we don't want to be in coma. Nobody would like to remain in coma. That's No life. We don't want to be sleeping all the time. Again, that's no life. At times we do feel 1 or 2 days, let me go to sleep. I want rest. That is different. But I don't want to be living, sleeping all the time. We don't want to merely breathe. I'm alive, I'm happy to breathe. End of story. No. We want to be in action. Because it is our action that defines our life. My actions as a medical professional or as a doctor defines my life. I'm a doctor. A chartered accountant, by his actions, defines his life as a chartered accountant. A sports person, by his actions, defines his life as a sports person. So our actions define our life, and we all want to be in action. We don't want to be inactive. So there are two things that are important in life. One is breath and two is action. Action is the expression of life. We express our life through our actions. Now, what is the instrument for this expression? Every human being has the same instrument. To perform the actions, we have been given an instrument, and that instrument is made up of body and mind. All of us have a body and all of us have a mind. What is this instrument made up of? Let us look at the body. The body is made up of systems such as circulatory system, digestive system, nervous system, excretory system, reproductive system, so on and so forth. Each system is made up of organs. For example, the lungs are the organs for respiration. The heart is the organ for circulation. The brain is the organ for the nervous system. The stomach is the organ for the digestive system. If action is life, then there are certain simple actions and there are certain complex actions. We all take simple actions such as breathing, eating and drinking, walking, talking, cleaning, dressing, sleeping, hearing and seeing, touching and feeling. And we also take complex actions like thinking. We all do our own thinking. Some of us do teaching. It's not an easy subject. You need to be qualified to be a teacher. Some of us do healing. Again, not an easy subject. You need to be qualified to be a healer. Some of us become scientists. We are inventing stuff. Some of us are adventurers. We discover things. And some of us are managers. We plan, we organize, we monitor, we control. So these actions are complex actions as compared to the simple actions which any human being can take. So, recapping what a human being is, he is made up of a body which has systems, organs, further divided into cells and atoms. Every human body is made up of cells and every cell is made up of atoms. Atoms ultimately are protons and electrons. So if you really think deep, your body is made up of tremendous warehouse of atomic energy. If you understand how many trillion atoms make up your body, you will understand that your body is a powerhouse of atomic energy. But we don't think like that. Then we are made up of the mind, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and there are certain other more facets of the mind which we will discuss in the course. And all of us are energized by a life force called Prana Shakti. Today you are listening to me and I am talking to you because there is Prana Shakti in you and in me. I have introduced myself as Praveen Mankar. I have an identity and I am able to deliver this speech because of the presence of Prana Shakti inside me. The day this Prana Shakti leaves my body, you will not refer to me as Praveen Mankar. You will say, body. Body ko uthao, body ko dafnao, body ko har pehnao. Nobody will say, lift up Praveen Mankar. Nobody will say, burn Praveen Mankar. They will say, lift up the body, carry the body to the crematorium, burn the body or bury the body. I lose my identity as soon as I lose that element that energizes me. That element is life force or Prana Shakti. And all of us similarly lose our identities when we lose our energy. In life, all of us have problems. I'm sure there is not a single person here who has no problems. Let's look at the physical problems. Common problems, cough, cold, fever, stomach ailments, itches, rashes, headache, infections, anemia, anorexia, sleep, lack of sleep, aging, listlessness, and the flavor of the current times, COVID. But in this list, I have not added some of the common severe diseases such as arthritis, diabetes, heart disease, cancer. So there are certain more severe health complications. In all these cases of physical ill health, we have an option. Some of us do self-medication. So like I have got headache or I got a slight fever. Then I take a paracetamol tablet without going to any medical professional because I know that paracetamol will bring down my fever and sometimes it will even bring down the pain. Sometimes the ailment or the disease is not managed by myself, so I take assistance of the medical profession. I go to a doctor and he prescribes some medicines. I go to the chemist, he dispenses the medicines, and consuming the medicines, I hope to get healed. Either way, I have recourse to some correction when my body is diseased. Let's look at our mind. My mind has fear, nervousness, diffidence, anger, sorrow, jealousy, some complex issues, greed, lust. I never go to a doctor. I never do any medication for getting rid of these ailments because I don't think they are ailments. From childhood till today, I have always considered this as part and parcel of life. For me, these are not ailments. For me, this is life normal. And therefore, I continue to live with mental diseases. Whenever I am not at ease, I have a disease. The definition of disease is I am not at ease. When I am angry, I am not at ease. When I am fearful, I am not at ease. When I have jealousy welling up inside me, I am not at ease. When I have hatred or when I have greed, I am not at ease. So I have a disease of the mind, but I do nothing about the disease of the mind. I accept it. I live with these diseases. Just imagine you living with physical diseases. You would be extremely uncomfortable. Unfortunately, we don't get uncomfortable living with anger or sorrow or fear. We accept them as part and parcel of life. All this leads to depletion in professional and personal performance. Now imagine I have a physical problem and I am working in my office and I have a severe backache and I want to make a report which is urgent and important. My boss is waiting for the report. But my backache is taking my attention away from the report. Whenever I move my body here and there, my backache reminds me that I am not at ease. And therefore, my mind gets distracted. I am not fully concentrating on the report and my report doesn't come out the way it should have come out had I been perfectly healthy. And my boss disapproves of my report and it hampers my appraisal and therefore my career prospects. My success rate drops down because I am diseased physically. It affected my professional performance. I go home, my boss has expressed his displeasure at my report, I am upset mentally, and at the slightest provocation, I snap at my family, my wife, my children, and I vitiate the atmosphere at home. So my disease or discomfort at the physical and the mental level has depleted my professional and personal performance. And I consider this normal. I convince myself this happens in everybody's life, so it's okay to happen. Is it really okay? Wouldn't you be happier if this didn't happen? The answer is yes, you would be happier, but then are you working towards it? The answer is no, we don't work towards it. So let's ask some important questions. Do we take care of our body and mind? So first question is, do we take care of our body? And the second question is, do we take care of our mind? And most of you would answer like this. Some will say no. Honest, truthful answer, no. We don't take care of our body, we don't take care of our mind. Some of you will say yes, and probably you believe you are taking good care of your body and mind. Oh, I go to the gym regularly, I go to yoga classes, I do meditation regularly. So you think you are taking care of your body and mind. But do you really know whether whatever you are doing is useful or not useful? So your answer from your point of view is right, but we need to verify that. Some of you will say, I don't know, and that's an honest answer. Yes, we don't know whether we are taking adequate care of our body and mind. And some will say not enough, which is also honest. That yes, I do a little bit of physical exercises, I go for a walk, and I eat good healthy food. I don't overeat. I watch my calories. So yes, in terms of taking care of my body, I do take care of my body. About mind, I don't have much knowledge, so I'm not sure whether I'm taking care of my mind. So let's say not enough is a good answer. So all answers are good answers. So let me ask you another question. And I'm presuming that all of you brush your teeth and take a bath regularly every day. So if you are brushing your teeth and taking a bath every day, are you cleaning your pancreas, your liver, your spleen, your brain, your heart, your joints, and the several components that make up your body? And you will wonder, what kind of a question is this? This question is pretty logical, because all these components of your body are working for you tirelessly from the day you were born till today. So just like you're taking care of your teeth by brushing them daily, are you taking care of these organs in your body which are also working for you daily? In what form are you taking care of these organs? Now you will say, I don't see them, so I don't know how to take care of them, which is also true. Out of sight is out of mind. At least I can see my teeth. I can see some stains on them. I can see the decay or the cavities in my teeth. So I know how to take care of my teeth, or I know the need to take care of my teeth. But I have never seen my pancreas. I have never seen my liver. I've only seen pictures of the pancreas or the liver. If that too, if I'm a science student. If I'm not a science student, I don't even get to see the pictures. Only if there is some problem with my spleen and the doctor describes some severe condition of my spleen, then I will go to the Google and try to find out what is spleen, where is spleen, what does it do. Then I become a Google expert on spleen. Like many people go and find out about cardiac disease, angiography, angioplasty, bypass, and they get a lot of information from Google. So we tend to look at the organs that are working for us only when they start giving us trouble. We don't look at these organs when they are normal. And that's an issue, because we don't know whether we are heading towards disaster or we are on a good path. So let's come back to breathing. Do we breathe correctly? If I ask you this question, and again, the answers would be similar. No, yes, I don't know, not enough, and all answers are again correct. Have we been taught to breathe correctly? Again, a question that needs to be answered. And most of us who have acquired degrees, we have gone to good schools, good universities, we have come out with flying colors, we have good positions in the society, good source of income, but nobody taught us how to breathe. There was no subject in my school which said this is the right way to breathe. There was no subject in my college which told me how to breathe. I have not been formally trained how to breathe. If I voluntarily joined some yoga classes or some pranayam sessions, or I saw Baba Ramdev on the TV, maybe I have picked up some tips here and there about how to breathe, but I have not been formally educated in how to breathe. And some of you might wonder, what is the big deal about breathing? Anybody breathes. Even animals breathe. So why do I need to be educated about breathing? It's a natural process. It happens on its own. So let's look at that factor. How much do we breathe? I don't know. I never asked that question of myself. Like people have been discussing, I must drink 8 to 10 glasses of water or roughly 1.5 to 2 liters of water per day. But nobody has ever talked about how much I should breathe. So I honestly don't know the answer to this question, how much do we breathe? How much should we breathe? Obviously, since I don't know the answer of how much do we breathe, how can I answer the question, how much should we breathe? I don't know. So the last two questions, I don't know is a common answer that we receive. That I don't know. Why should we breathe well? Now, this is a very good question. Why should we breathe well? What does breath do in my life? Take the example of a key. All of us carry a key in our pocket, and there is a parallel key hanging on some nail in the house, the duplicate key. The key that is not used, the duplicate key, which is simply hanging on the nail, starts beginning to rust. The key in my pocket, which I am using regularly, is always shining. So here is something which comes out as a law. Anything that is put to use remains robust and healthy. Anything that is not used starts decaying, degenerating, collapsing. You can see that with railway trains also. If you look at some of the rails which are not regularly used, those rails are rusty. But the rails on which the trains are plying continuously, those rails are shining. You can look at bridges. The bridges that are regularly being used, they remain healthy, strong. The bridges that are not being used start crumbling. Same with buildings. Buildings that are occupied and are being used remain healthy. The buildings that are not being used start crumbling, degenerating. So here is a law that anything that is not used crumbles. Why am I bringing this law here? How much of our lungs do we use? So I am presenting to you a medical fact which is worldwide. On an average, an adult uses only about 10% of his lungs. Now this is scary. That means 90% of my lungs I am not using. And if I apply the law that what is not used gets degenerated and ultimately collapses, it is true of 90% of my lungs because I don't use them. I use only 10% of my lungs. So if this law and this fact, if both these are true, then there is something seriously wrong about the way I breathe. The normal respiratory rate for adults is 12 to 20 breaths per minute, and this you will get with slight variation here and there from different websites. This figure I picked up from this particular website. So it doesn't matter. It could be 12, 13, 14, 15, anywhere between 12 and 20 breaths per minute. For ease of understanding, let's say on an average, an adult takes 15 breaths per minute. Let's look at some of the facts. Groups of children. If you see the newborns and the infants up to 6 months old, you will see that they take about 30 to 60 breaths per minute. That's a huge amount of breathing. You look at the last figure, adults 18 and above, 8 to 16 breaths per minute. What happened? The breathing rate dropped dramatically as you started growing up. Then from 18 upwards, as you go to 30, 40, 50, 60, the breathing is even shallower. 90% of your lungs are not being used for a period of 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, 35, 40, 45, 50 years. So what's happening to your lungs? Your lungs are deteriorating. What is the proof that your lungs are deteriorating? The proof is very simple. As a youngster in school, during the vacations, you would be playing robust games. You would be running around either on the cricket field or hockey or badminton, or simply running around with friends playing chore police, catch the thief. You would run up and down the buildings, and you were ready to run all over again after a brief rest of 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe have a drink of water and then you are ready to go once again. Today, if I ask you to climb a 10-storied building without using the lift, you would be shocked. You would say, I don't want to come to your building if your lift is not working. What changed? The same youngster who used to run up and down today refuses to climb the stairs. And the reason is your lungs have stopped cooperating with you. The same lungs which were cooperating with you as a child are refusing to inflate and deflate according to your oxygen requirement. And therefore you are gasping for breath when you take a brisk walk or you climb a couple of stairs. This is a jar of chocolate which is in my house. We are a family that has cultivated a habit of consuming one chocolate after dinner as a rule. We are 5 members in the family and every member consumes one chocolate after dinner every day. But I also have a good habit. I purchase 5 chocolates every day. 5 members consume one chocolate each, so 5 chocolates are consumed. But I buy 5 chocolates every day. With the result, this jar is always full. This jar is never empty. 5 removed, 5 added. But there is a problem. These chocolates are never touched because only the top layer gets consumed and the top layer gets replenished. And as a result, these chocolates become bad. And because majority of the chocolates have become bad, the whole jar becomes bad. Even the good chocolates become affected, if not bad. At least they pick up the odor of the rancid, bad chocolates. What is true about the jar in my house is true about your lungs. If 90% of the lungs are not being used, 90% of your lungs have gone bad. And that is serious. You need to wake up to this fact that your lungs are as bad as my jar of chocolates because you are not using a large portion of your lungs. As we grow older, we find breathing more and more difficult. We cannot run fast. We cannot climb stairs easily. We gasp for breath with a little exertion. Recovery time is longer than tiring time. As a child, I used to play for 2 hours, become completely breathless, sweating. I would rest for 5 minutes, drink a glass of water. I am ready to run again for 1.5 to 2 hours. Today, I walk for 5 minutes. I need rest for 20 minutes. After 5 minutes of exercise, my resting time is 20 minutes. My recovery time is longer than my tiring time. I tire much faster and I take much longer to recover. Same reason, my lungs have gone bad. Compare this with our youth, we could do all the activities quite easily. Conclusion, our lungs have gone bad. Fact of life. Let's look at the lungs and the breathing process. So there are 2 organs there, the heart and the lungs, which work in tandem. So here is oxygen coming in to the lungs as we breathe in. This oxygen is spreading into both the lungs, shown by that black blob in each lung. Impure blood is being pumped from the heart to the lungs. The impurities are burned by the oxygen in the air that we breathe in, and the resultant carbon dioxide is thrown out. You can see the carbon going out. The carbon dioxide is going out and oxygen is coming in. You can see impure blood as a blue dot coming to the lungs and pure blood as a red dot going back to the heart. So the lungs are basically incinerators that burn the impurities, purifying your blood. And this process has been going on roughly at the rate of 15 breaths per minute, which translates to 21,600 breaths per day, multiplied by 1,440 minutes. So this is your breathing process, but we were not aware of this. When our breathing improves, what happens? Suppose I do some exercises and my breathing improves. So here is my improved breathing process. This capacity of my lungs has substantially increased. Now I'm taking in more oxygen. The impurities that the heart sends to my lungs are getting purified. More impurities are being burned because more oxygen is available and carbon dioxide is being thrown out. So purer blood is returning to the heart, which is a very simple mathematics. More oxygen, more burning, more purification, purer blood returns to my heart. Heart is a pump. It pumps the blood all over the body. And blood has two functions. A, it collects nutrition from the food that we digest in the stomach and distributes the nutrition to all organs of the body. And B, it collects impurities from all the organs and brings it to the heart. The heart sends the impurities to the lungs for burning, and the lungs send back pure blood to the heart, and this cycle keeps continuing. At 72 beats per minute, the heart is beating at 72 beats per minute. Pulse rate is 72 beats per minute. So your heart is constantly working tirelessly from the day you are born for the time that you live. What do the lungs do? Lungs are the meeting point of blood and air. Blood comes from various organs of the body, pumped by the heart. Air comes from the atmosphere during the inhalation process of breathing. Lungs provide incinerators to burn the impurities, oxygen is used and carbon dioxide is exhaled out. And what is the mystery of breathing? Where does the carbon dioxide come from? Oxygen comes from air and it is chemical fire. Fire burns and the product of burning is carbon dioxide. What does oxygen from air burn in the blood? Impurities collected from various organs. Where did these impurities come from? From the wear and tear. Your organs are working. That means they are moving. Your heart is pumping. Your lungs are expanding and contracting. So impurities collected from various organs are sent to the lungs for burning. What goes back to the heart is purified blood for onward pumping to the organs. In case of the respiratory system, blood acts as a municipal garbage vehicle. Just like the municipal garbage vehicle picks up all the trash from your societies and the municipality disposes of the trash in various methods, similarly, the respiratory system disposes of the garbage collected from all organs of the body and disposes it off as carbon dioxide. Let's look at it in a picture form that will make it easier to understand. The respiratory and the circulatory system. So down here on the right side is the body, the human body. Blood from the human body is sent to the heart. This blood is impure blood with all the impurities floating in it. The heart does the job of pumping this impure blood into the lungs. The lungs are the incinerators which take oxygen from the air as we breathe in. This oxygen meets the impurities in the lungs and the impurities are burned. So the lungs are the incinerators where the impurities are burned. The resultant carbon dioxide is sent out into the atmosphere through our own exhalation. The process of burning the impurities results in purification of blood and the pure blood goes to the heart. The heart is again a pump and it pumps the pure blood back to the human body. And your body organs receive pure blood. The brain receives pure blood. The heart, liver, stomach, kidneys, pancreas, bones, muscles, everything receives pure blood. The purer the blood, the more nutrition supply and the more pickup of impurities from all organs of the body. And therefore you have a healthier body if you have purer blood. You have purer blood if they have lesser impurities. You have lesser impurities if more impurities are burned. More impurities are burned if there is more oxygen. More oxygen is available if you breathe more. So this is a very simple mechanism of purifying your body, keeping it healthy, free from disease, away from doctors. Why is blood a garbage vehicle? In my society, we create 2 garbage bins every day. And the municipal vehicle comes and picks up those 2 garbage bins. One day I received a notice that For some reason, the municipal vehicle is incapable of taking 2 bins. Maybe one of their vehicle had some damage and there was only 1 vehicle available. So for a week, they will pick up only 1 garbage bin from my society. And this is true for all the buildings on the road on which I reside. So for 7 days, instead of picking up 2 bins, 1 garbage bin was being picked up by the municipality. At the end of 7 days, our society had 7 accumulated bins of trash. The society started smelling. We had infestation of rats, mosquitoes, flies, cockroaches, lizards, various vermin. We also had unseen microorganisms, bacteria and fungus. And the incidence of disease increased in my society simply because the municipality refused to collect 1 garbage bin per day. What happened in my society happens in your body. When your body refuses to pick up more impurities, and when your body refuses to burn more impurities, your body is inviting disease because your organs are now accumulating dirt, becoming weaker, and that's what immunity is all about. When your organs become weaker, they become susceptible to external attacks of bacteria and virus. And therefore, people say you have a low immunity. So one of the reasons for low immunity is poor purification of your body. And the reason for poor purification of your body is poor breathing. Let's look at how the purification happens. So here are 2 tubes. One is the blood tube, which is colored red, and one is the air tube, which is colored blue. In the blood tube, you will see some smiley faces, wickedly smiling. They are the wicked impurities in your blood. And in the air tube, you will see 4 molecules of oxygen. When you inhale this oxygen interacts with the impurities within their capacity. So if there are 4 molecules of oxygen, they will tackle 4 particles of impurities in the blood. And your blood will be thus purified. But because there were only 4 molecules of oxygen in my air tube, the remaining impurity particles could not be tackled and they remained in the blood. Why were there only 4 molecules of oxygen? Because my breathing was shallow. If I had taken a deep breath every time, probably there would be 8 or 16 molecules of oxygen and that would have purified the entire impurities in my blood. But my breathing has been shallow and my oxygen intake has been less, and therefore purification of my blood is less, and therefore the impurities remained in the blood. That's okay, they remain in the blood. So what? So this happens. When the impurities don't get burned, they start depositing on the walls of the arteries and veins. And the deposits go on progressively increasing till my arteries and veins become narrower. And you have heard of this ischemic condition when you have blocks in your coronary arteries. And when you do angiography, the doctor says, I need to do angioplasty. There are 2 which are 90% blocked. There is one which is 80% blocked and one which is 70% blocked. So at least I must do 2 stents in your heart to at least clear 2 arteries which are 90% blocked. We will look at the 80 and 70 next time. So you spend 3, 5, 10, 15 lakhs of rupees in getting corrections done to your heart. Simply because nobody told you that you could burn the impurities by just breathing better. Am I exaggerating? No, I am not exaggerating. Is it so simple? Yes, it is so simple. But now I have lived for 60 years, my arteries and veins are choked. Is it reversible? Yes, it is reversible. There are blocks in the blood vessels. Impurities pile up not only in the blood vessels but also in the organs. So if your kidneys are supposed to do filtration of your blood for removing the impurities from blood, the kidneys are also deposited with impurities and their efficiency starts dropping. It is like your water filter in your aquaguard. When it starts choking, the output of the aquaguard reduces the quality of the aquaguard also reduces. The same thing happens with your kidneys. The kidneys become less efficient in purifying your blood. The kidneys themselves start getting damaged and you have renal failure. Then you require dialysis and replacement of kidneys. Organ failure and disease. You must have heard about terminal patients in hospitals. The nurse or the doctor starts telling you periodically, urine output has dropped. When you admitted, the urine output was 200 ml. Now it has dropped down to 50 ml. I think kidney failure has set in. Organ failure has set in. The blood pressure used to be 140 by 90. Now the blood pressure is showing 70 by 50. The heart is not pumping as fast as it used to pump or as strongly as it used to pump. The eject volume has dropped from 40% to 15%. Organ failure has set in. Please inform your relatives. Nothing can be predicted now. We cannot guarantee survival of this patient. So what is true of one organ is also true of the other organs. We are so obsessed with cardiac disease that we pay attention only to the blocks in the heart. But the arteries in the brain are also getting blocked. Brain is not receiving the amount of blood supply that it should receive. Brain is also deteriorating, which is evident by dementia, Alzheimer's. Similarly, the liver is also getting diseased, the pancreas is getting diseased, the muscles are getting diseased. People have swelling in their feet because the clearance of fluid is not enough, because circulation is not enough. So all your physical ailments are directly connected to the subject of purification of blood. Having dealt with the body, your heart has got blocks. Up to a point, since your body is very resilient, you don't feel any symptoms. But constantly your arteries are getting blocked. One day you will feel a symptom. You will sweat, you will have palpitations, you will have pain. And then you go to the doctor, he takes your pulse rate. The pulse is racing at 95 per minute instead of 72 or even 100 per minute. He takes your blood pressure, which should have been 120, 130 by 70 or 80. The blood pressure is showing 170 by 100. You have high BP. So the doctor gives you a 25 milligram tablet. You take that 25 milligram tablet twice a day or thrice a day as the doctor prescribes, and you feel nice, you feel comfortable. Has that 25 milligram tablet cleaned up your arteries and veins? No, it has not. It only gave you symptomatic relief. And because you felt relieved, you thought you are cured. You are not cured. Your arteries and veins are still choked. For 2 years, you feel nice with 25 milligrams, and then the symptoms recur. You go to the doctor, he says, now 25 milligrams has stopped working. Let me increase the dose to 50 milligrams. You start consuming 50 milligrams, again you feel nice. For a couple of years, you survive on 50 milligrams. Again, the symptoms recur. You go to the doctor, he says, now we'll have to do angiography. And from angiography, he takes you to angioplasty. And from angioplasty, when the symptoms recur, you go to bypass. And afterwards, end of story. So, medicines do not cure you, they give you symptomatic relief because they don't tackle the root cause. The root cause is pile-up of impurities. Your cardiac medicines, your brain medicines, your kidney medicines, your liver medicines do not clear the impurities. And progressively, your body starts deteriorating and you spend tons of money. You earn a lot of money, you do a lot of investments. You are very smart with money matters, but you became rich to make somebody else richer. You made your cardiologist rich, you made your diabetologist rich, you made your oncologist rich, you made your neurologist rich, you made your endocrinologist rich. The money which you should have enjoyed, you are using to barely survive with lot of restrictions. You can't walk fast. You can't run. You can't climb. Be careful. So what were you earning this money for? To live such a restricted life? Or did you want to have a happy, healthy and joyful life? So this is part of the body mechanism. Now let's look at the mind mechanism. So here is a situation where I am returning home from a late night show and I see tough looking characters walking menacingly towards me. So I am not a karate champion. I am an ordinary pharmacist. When I look at them, the first thing in my mind is, oh my God, there is danger. So I must avoid danger. I must run away. To run away, I need extra energy in my legs instantly, because running means extra work. How do I get that extra energy? Through a hormone called adrenaline. That adrenaline starts pumping my heart faster. There is more blood circulation in my legs. More blood circulation means more energy. Instantly, I get that extra energy and I run away. So this is my response to stress. Whenever I am stressed, I have two possibilities, either fight or flight. Three characters I cannot fight, so I decide to flight, run away. Even if I decide to fight, I need extra energy. That extra energy comes to me through adrenaline. I get pumped up with adrenaline. My heart is beating faster. I get more blood in my arms and hands and I am ready to fight. So what is true in this example is true in our life. I lead a stressful life. From the time I wake up in the morning till the time I go to bed, I have one stress or the other. I have family stress, I have money stress, I have traffic stress, I have boss stress, I have customer stress, I have client stress, I have recovery stress, I have bank stress, I have income tax stress. I am facing stress after stress after stress after stress continuously. Response to stress from the body is only one: constant supply of adrenaline. And the result of adrenaline is again rapid pumping of the heart. So my heart is beating at a rate faster than normal. So if I ask you, instead of walking, keep running continuously, you will tire faster. By walking, you might be able to walk for 1 hour continuously, but if I ask you to run, you will tire in 15 minutes. The same thing is happening with your heart. Your heart is tiring faster because you are making it overwork, because you are overstressed. And because the heart muscles are getting fatigued, you have the same symptoms: pain, palpitation, sweating. You go to the doctor, the same result. 25 milligrams, 2 years you feel happy, again you go back, 50 milligrams, 2 years you are happy, again you go back, angiography, angioplasty, again you go back, bypass, and finally bye-bye. So what was true of the impurities in the body is also true of the mental stress. And again, I am describing to you only one organ of the body, which is the heart. Stress also affects other parts of the body besides the heart. So I am now on drug therapy and I think I am fine because I got symptomatic relief, but I am not fine because my stressful life continues. Have I done anything to reduce my stress? I have done nothing. And therefore, that stress is eating me up silently. I'm not even aware that my stress is slowly catching on me. How to heal the body and the mind? Breathing exercises for the body. I already described how the purification of the blood takes place through increased oxygen, and meditation to keep my mind stress-free. So these are the two techniques that are useful to keep body and mind healthy. Now, most of you must be wondering, if it is so simple, why is the pharmaceutical industry, the medical profession flourishing? Why are there so many hospitals, so many chemists, so many drug companies, so many medicines flooding the market? The answer is simple. Nobody talks simple things. Everybody believes that the more complicated the things are, the better they work. Take a small example. One of my friends had severe headache. So he tried self-medication, it didn't work. Suddenly he jumped on to the conclusion that he has migraine. So he read up some Google stories about migraine. and he went to a doctor. The doctor asked him to do some tests, gave him some medicines. The headache continued. So further tests were suggested, some CT scan, MRI. So my friend did all these tests, spent a lot of money. Every time he would take the reports to the doctors would change the medication, but his headache continued. This happened for a couple of months. He spent a lot of money in those 2 months, going from pillar to post. After 2 months, his grandmother visited him from the village, and she saw this fellow looking depressed, in pain. So she inquired, "Beta, what's wrong?" And he says, "I have been getting severe headaches." So she simply smiled and said, "Oh, you are running around so much. This is dehydration. Just drink some glasses of water." And she gave him normal temperature water, and the headache vanished. So we don't believe in simple treatments. We think that spending money, going to expensive hospitals, paying doctors will give us the answers. The answers are in our simple day-to-day living. But unfortunately, our brains are programmed that whatever is free or cheap does not work. If I don't spend money on good, expensive medicines and doctors and hospitals, then I'm running a risk. Whereas the answers are very simple. Then there is a third component of the body of which I have not spoken much, and we will not speak much in the course either, because we will focus on purification of body and mind. But here is a component which you should be aware of. And that component is known as the prana, or the spirit, or the energy inside you, which is your life force. It exists everywhere. The trees grow because there is a life force inside the tree. The dog, the cat, the eagle, the dolphin, the elephant, every living being on this earth is activated by this life force. If you want to experience it, just do a small experiment. Bring your fingertips close to each other and don't touch the fingertips to each other. Just move them backward and forward very slowly and pay attention to the gap between your fingertips. Just do a very slow movement. This experiment is very simple. If you keep moving your fingers slowly to and fro, you will suddenly feel some tingling sensation between the tips. Don't do it very fast and very far. Do a gentle movement, a little bit away and close. Don't touch. Little bit away and close. Do you feel some tingling sensation on your fingertips? If yes, that is the energy which you felt transmitting from one terminal to the other, just like electricity. This is proof enough that there is some current which is a manifestation of energy in your body. Practice it at home till you are not sure. Those of you who did not feel any sensation, practice at home till you are sure. Prana, like electricity, has positive and negative aspects. From the neutral position, nothing can flow. You need a potential difference. You need negative and you need positive for current to flow. Water also cannot flow if the levels are same. You need a high level and a low level for the water to flow. So for any energy to flow, you need a potential difference, and that is called positive and negative. Why do human beings have two nostrils? If there was one hole in my nose, it was enough, because I don't inhale and exhale at the same time. I first exhale and then I inhale. So one hole could have done the job, but God has given me two holes in my nose. The reason is, the right side of my nostril represents the plus part of the prana shakti. The left side of my nostril represents the negative part of my prana shakti. I told in the beginning that if I can stop eating and drinking, I still have the same body temperature. I still live. But if I stop breathing, my body temperature drops. Body temperature is not related to food. Body temperature is related to breath. When I stop breathing, my body becomes cold. When I am continuing to breathe, even if I am not eating and drinking, my body temperature remains 37.4 or 37 point whatever the temperature is supposed to be. So this is the reason why breathing through 2 nostrils is important. Now we come to the main introduction to what this program is all about, because that's what you would want to know. What will you learn in this course, the curriculum? What is taught in life and breath? We teach you pranayam, which is the basic breathing technique. We teach you 8 spiritual breathing exercises, and we'll tell you why we call them spiritual breathing exercises when the course starts. The breathing exercises will improve your lung capacity and your breathing capacity, thereby increasing your blood purification and thereby improving the purification of various organs in your body. You will be actually cleaning the organs in your body by purifying the blood. That will improve your physical health. We will teach you the technique of meditation, which will enable you to calm down your mind, make you stress-free, make you capable of facing various conditions in life. Conditions in life will not change. The external environment will be the way it is. You will meet corrupt people, you will meet dominant officials, you will meet people who are not scrupulous. So those conditions in life will not change, but your ability to deal with these conditions will distinctly be better. You will not be agitated, you will not be annoyed, you will not be angry, you will not be afraid, you will not be jealous. So all these factors will be taken care of when you learn how to calm down your mind. Then we also teach you certain laws of living. Because the whole universe operates under some laws, but we don't follow those laws and rules and regulations. We violate them, and when we violate rules and regulations, we are liable for punishment. Punishment to human beings from the universe comes in the form of disease and trauma. So if we understand the laws of living, then we will not be breaking them and the universe will not punish us. So here is a simple demonstration of one law of living. We will be teaching you about 13, 14 laws in the course. But here is an example of one law. So can you all sit straight? Just sit straight and follow my instructions. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Take another deep breath. Exhale. Take third deep breath. Don't exhale. Take another deep breath. Don't exhale. Take another deep breath. Don't exhale. Take another deep breath. Don't exhale. Can you do it? It's not possible. At some point of time, your lungs will be so full that you cannot take any breath. So what is the law here? The law is give and take. Unless you give, you cannot take. This is the first law that you learn the day you are born. Unless you exhale, you cannot inhale. But human beings don't like to give. Human beings are reluctant givers. They like to receive. We always like to take. We don't like to give. So there are such similar laws which we teach in our course of 20 lessons. There are 20 sessions, each of 1.5 hours. There is one session per day for this batch, which is batch number 20. We will have the sessions every Sunday from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. If you are in different time zones, you see what time matches with this time. Where did it all begin? This is an original science which was developed in Nalanda University, Bihar, about 1,200 years ago. So it's not a foreign science, it's an Indian science. Where did it disappear for all these years? Before the Mughal invasion, it went to Tibet. The man who developed this science migrated to Tibet. He taught the Tibetan monks this science. Then there was one Britisher who learned this science in Tibet, and that Britisher migrated to USA. In USA, he formed an institute which started teaching this science. An Indian heard about this and he invited this science by postal correspondence back to India. So this is a globe-trotting science. From India to Tibet, Tibet to USA, USA back to India. Where is the center of life and breath in India? The registered office, as I said in the beginning, is in MIDC, Andheri East, Mumbai, Maharashtra. When did this science return to India? As late as 1977. So it is not a very old science reintroduced in India. When can anyone learn life and breath? Anytime after the age of 18. There is no upper age limit. My oldest student so far has been an 87-year-old person. When does one begin a course in life and breath? At predetermined times published by the organizers. So we have published beginning of this course from next Sunday, which is 8th of August 2021. Sunday evenings 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. for the next 20 Sundays. Who started life and breath? The name of the person, the scientist, Guru Padma Sambhav, 1200 years ago in Nalanda University. He migrated to Tibet and taught the Tibetan monks. A Britisher by the name of Edwin John Dingle landed in Tibet, acquired the Tibetan name Guru Ding Le Mi. Edwin John Dingle became Ding Le Mi. And after learning this science in Tibet, he settled in California, USA, where he founded the Institute of Mental Physics. Guru Jyotirmayananda, who was a resident of Chembur, Mumbai, his name was K.S. Ramnathan. He got to know of this science and he invited this course by postal correspondence from the Institute of Mental Physics. Then he started teaching this course in his own house and he had 5 to 8 students learning this course. 2 of his students were very high-profile people. One was Justice Dudat. He was a High Court judge. He started an institute under the name of Brahma Vidya Mission and he started teaching this science independently, independent of Jyotirmayanand, to some of his students. Another person was a vice president in Aditya Birla Group by the name of Jayant Divekar, and he started another institute called Brahma Vidya Sadhak Sangh, registered in Thane, and he started teaching this science under the Brahma Vidya Sadhak Sangh. I was a student of Brahma Vidya Sadhak Sangh from 2005 to 2017, and in 2017 I branched out and started this institute called Pratibimb Charitable Trust, and we teach the same science of mental physics under the name Life and Breath. Who conducts Life and Breath in India? Pratibimb Charitable Trust, established in 2018. Who teaches Life and Breath? Teachers qualified by the Pratibimb Charitable Trust. Teachers are selfless volunteers. While we collect a fee of 1,500 rupees from you for the course of 20 lessons, the money, after being used for expenses like printing of stationery and courier charges and some administrative expenses to run the trust, the balance money is all spent in charity. We have done several charitable works which are available on our website for you to see. Who can undertake the Life and Breath courses? Anyone above the age of 18. There is no bar for any religion. There is no bar for any sex or community. This is not a religious course. This addresses directly the health of your body and the health of your mind. In the advanced course, we talk about spirituality, but not about any particular religion, because every human being, irrespective of his religion, has a spirit or prana shakti inside him. How is Life and Breath taught? 1 lesson per session. Each lesson is of 1.5 hours. Each lesson is given out in a printed or a PDF format. Those of you who are resident in India will receive it as a printed booklet by courier. Those of you who are outside India will receive it as a PDF format. The total course is of 20 sessions, which means it will last for 20 weeks. And then we also have voluntary study groups, and we have some associate teachers, prospective teachers and volunteers who are conducting these practice sessions. So after you complete 20 sessions, you are free to join those practice groups. There is no charge for joining a practice group. How much does the basic course cost you? It costs you only 1,500 rupees per person for the whole course. Today you order an online pizza, you will pay 500 rupees for one pizza. 3 pizzas you will consume in no time. So this entire course, which gives you purification of body and mind, costs you only 3 pizzas. Please don't pay in pizzas. Please pay in rupees. And the payment gateway is available online through our website. Pratibim Charitable Trust has a website. What are the benefits? You have good health of both body and mind. When body and mind is healthy, you are free to attend to your normal work with full concentration, and therefore it assures you of success. If you are successful, you will naturally be happy. This course is really magic, but I cannot demonstrate the magic unless you practice the course and work the magic in your life. This course is entirely taught online because of the pandemic situation. It is taught on a Google's Hangout or Google's Meet platform, and the payment gateway is on the Pratibim website, which is pratibimtrust.com. You can join next Sunday by using the link which will be posted on the WhatsApp group in which you are a member. You are free to invite your friends and relatives to attend the course. The first 3 sessions gives you the opportunity to register. After the first 3 sessions, the registrations stop. So lesson number 1, lesson number 2, lesson number 3 gives you opportunity to consider whether it is worth joining this course and register for the course. So those of you who have missed the introduction can see the introduction on our website. The introduction is posted there. Those of you who feel that this will benefit your friends and relatives are free to invite your friends and relatives. Those of you who are in India can pay in rupees. Those of you who are overseas, we don't accept payment in foreign currency. So if you have any contacts in India, you can pay through them. If you are unable to pay through any Indian contacts, you are free to join the course as and when our trust is made permitted to receive foreign currency. If you feel like paying, you may pay. Otherwise, you can attend this course out of this country complimentary. This is our gift to all our foreign friends who are unable to pay in Indian currency. Then it is up to you. If you feel like paying, you can pay. The WhatsApp group is already formed, and you can join the WhatsApp group by clicking on this link so that you will automatically get all the updates on lesson number 1, 2, and 3. Only registered students will move forward from lesson number 4 onwards. So we may form another WhatsApp group for only the registered students. So my suggestion is, if you are interested, please register and stay in the group. If you are interested in joining, if you have any questions and doubts, please feel free to ask. These are our contacts which we will be posting on the WhatsApp group. You can contact these people. They are already there on social media. This contact is also there on our website. So you will get all the details of this particular batch on the website. You will not miss anything. So thank you for spending your valuable time today with me. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them.
Sir, we have old student Dr. Sonia and Nishit Joshi. They will like to share their experience.
Please go ahead. Those of you who would like to hear what our students have benefited, please go ahead and share.
Yes, sir. May I?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm Dr. Sonia. I'm a homeopath by profession, and I would like to share my experience. I
Thank you so
started the
much.
course in the month. Yes, I started this course in the month of February, and it is from then the journey has been just amazing. As Praveen sir has already mentioned, what all you'll benefit. Uh, First of all, physical health, mental health, you will benefit. With me personally, I will tell I came here with no expectation. I was drawn towards spirituality and whatever related to health. So I started doing the course, and when sir started teaching the breathing exercises, like I was drawn to whatever he said. The class was only of 1.5 hours, but his insights and his teaching is so powerful. Like you feel like doing it. Otherwise, whatever course earlier I have done, I never practiced it. But here I started practicing it with full faith. After 1 month of practicing, I had hypothyroidism, so I stopped my thyroid pill on my own. I always knew that I can always take the thyroid pill, but I gave a chance. And after continuous 3 months of practice, I did my thyroid test and my levels were absolutely normal. So this was the benefit on my physical level, and on mental level, I lost my worries, I lost my stress, I lost my fears, and now I am absolutely, I feel calm, and I'm looking forward with my association with Pravin sir and his courses henceforward. I would really, I have tremendous gratitude towards Pravin sir, whatever he has taught, because he's so sincere in his teachings and he answers everyone's questions with same intensity. Like, however, say, whoever asks and how much ever the question is repeated, he will answer it with full, with his heart. So I would recommend every one of you, and I assure you, you all will have a wonderful journey here. Thank you, sir, and thank you, Pratimim Trust.
Thank you, Sonia. You would make a better marketing executive than, I don't know about your homeopathy, but you did a wonderful job. And this is not about me, this is about the course content. I am just an instrument that delivers the content. What works for you in your life is the practice of what is being delivered.
Yeah, and
So-
that was the first thing it was told by sir, that 99% is your practice and 1% is what he teaches. So that was the
Yeah.
first lesson he had taught us.
That is true.
And this is all from my heart, sir. So this is
Thank
nothing,
you.
no marketing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Sonia.
sir. Thank you.
Yes, Nishit, you want to share your experience? Unmute. Nishit, you're on mute. Nishit, you're on mute.
Hello, friends. Good evening. I was a student of Life and Breath batch 13. So that started in February, which completed in June. So I am a 6 months old student. And if I have to say in one line, it has transformed my life. I was just like you attended today's class, the introduction. When I attended the introduction class, the one sentence of Pravin sir was, "We are using just 10% of our lung." That was enough for me, because my lung function in a medical test was weak, and that's what was doctor has prescribed. I had another issue of allergic bronchitis, dust, and smoke really gave me trouble, and I was supposed to be taking pumps whenever I'm exposed to all these things. In these 6 months, I am almost out of my pump requirement. By and large, I'm managing even when I'm exposed to dust and this without that. And my lung function has dramatically improved. What has been told to us was, like pranayam. Pranayam is one thing which will ultimately allow you to enhance your lung function. When the class will begin, there is a ratio which Pravin sir will teach you. It's like you begin with a ratio of 4, 16, 8 as a basic one. But today, I can say that I've reached to a ratio of 12, 48, and 24. And that is a testimony that only in 6 months, my lung function is improved without any medicines or without any other help. So as far as my physical health is concerned, it's like every day morning, 1 hour, 1.5 hour, this is like a breakfast. When I begin my day, nothing, no tea, nothing. I start the day with this. And it is so refreshing. Your day begins, you are in a positive mood. It gives you the energy, enthusiasm. And that's what I've felt personally for all these things. I'm a businessman. So as far as the mind level is concerned, I am known to be a little short-tempered guy in my office circle. So even at a mind level, the meditation part, which is also being taught here, it has calmed me down. It has given me the peace. The various, I used to get agitated, anxious, little more worried, and I have a wariness that why people are not doing things in the speed at which I am expecting them. And then a lot of laws which we have been taught. And then I realized I accepted, and it has calmed me down. I have been smiling a lot more at my work. And the first thing I did within the first 3-4 lessons after that, I insisted that all my colleagues, my senior colleagues, I said, you please join this. So I made them join all the next batch they all finished in June again. Then even my family members have joined. So the whole philosophy that at a physical level or a mind level, things are changing. Of course, at mind level, it's a gradual change. It takes time. How much practice and meditation I will put in, that proportionately I will get the benefit. But then if I learn the technique, I always now feel, why didn't I learn all these things 10 years earlier or 20 years earlier? And the last, but not the least, what happened is the rapport which the Praveen sir has created with the students. Like in April, my son picked up the COVID. It was a big second wave, and he was diagnosed with COVID with a fairly high viral load. So I consulted Praveen sir that what else I do, because we are in the same home. And he said that you just do more pranayam rounds. And if you want to do, you can do more memory development breath. One of the breath, which he said you do more. But most important part was at this phase was that I was not worried, because that was in April. My exercises had started from February, and I was confident that my lung function has improved, my meditations and my health will take care, and I will not be affected by this COVID infection which has come to my home. And it really helped. So my recommendation to all my friends here is that without thinking, please join. Once you join, you jump in the swimming, and then you will realize that what kind of benefits we have. And the kind of rapport which we have built up with Praveen sir is amazing. In fact, we have joined even the advanced course, and the kind of interest that Praveen sir is taking in you, there is a technique will be taught to you in this course, is about creative breath. It's like healing. Now, one of our batchmate, his mother has picked up the COVID, and for last 1 week, Praveen sir has picked up the collective healing process. So that's kind of a care and things which we have done. So friends, please do join. This is something kind of amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Nishit. Any questions you may have, please feel free to ask. Pragati, Pragnya Swali, please stop presenting. Please stop presenting. Pragnya, please, can I request you to stop presenting? Shailja, you have questions to ask. Please go ahead and ask.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session and, telling us about the importance of right way of breathing. And so I also want to thank Nishit and Sonia, who gave their feedback about this course. So, sir, I want to understand, do you also have a certification course where, after learning these sessions, can we also become like a teacher to teach these kind of breathing exercises to others?
Yes, there is a teachers training program. After you finish the advanced course, you become eligible to join the teachers training program.
All right. So that means there are two courses which we have to do. The one is the basic one,
Correct.
and then we have to move forward for the advanced, and then we
Yes.
teacher
Yes.
training.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm really interested after listening to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Sakina, you have a question.
Yes, Mr. Praveen. My question is, it's just something I just remembered when you spoke about the capacity of lungs at birth
Yeah,
is
right,
about 30 to 60 breaths, and then as we grow up, it slows down, and then we are breathing much, we are having much less breaths
correct.
per minute. So it just reminded me, like when my children were like newborns and very young, they had a very high heartbeat, which then now we say that adult heartbeat is at 72.
Right.
So is this correlated? I mean,
Yeah, it is correlated in a way because your circulatory system and respiratory system are connected.
so is then the heart also less? I mean, just like we are using only 10% of our lungs,
Mhm.
is it just then same with the heart function as well?
Heart function also starts deteriorating, but 72 is a normal adult heart rate. When I disclosed those statistics, they were the surveys conducted worldwide about lung capacities of different adults. And it was a very surprising revelation that it doesn't matter which country you belong to, as you grow older, your lungs are being used lesser and lesser. And the average figure came to be less than 10%. When I start lesson number 1, I will present that slide of how an adult uses his lungs and what is the scope for improvement.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, most welcome. Okay, Anita Bedi, you have a question.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello. Sir, I am already attending Life and Breath 18. Tomorrow is the last session. I want to record
Okay,
it.
great. Most welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Pankaj Chandak. Pankaj, you have a question?
Yeah, good
Good
evening, sir.
evening.
I have one question. Let's say if I miss any class
Mhm.
due to any reason, can the video will be shared after the end of the session, or how will I understand what was conducted?
My normal method of teaching is that I do a lot of recap and revision in the subsequent classes. So essentially, you will not miss anything. And I normally promise my students that all your questions will be answered before you complete the course. That is my responsibility.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter whether you get a video or you don't get a video, you will get the course content completely. And that is my promise to all students.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Most
Thank you.
welcome. Gokul Sarma.
So thank you for the wonderful introductory session, sir, and it was really eye-opening in a lot of perspectives. And I have a very specific question. My mother had undergone chemo and radiation, and she is now clear of all malignancies, but all the side effects do remain. Like the limb which is closer to the area which has been subjected to radiation, or the organs which are specific to chemo, develop certain side effects like swelling and things like which you already told. When the circulation and the lymph nodes and blood vessels are not clearing out properly or affected, you have swelling, you have difference in calcium deposits causing calcaneal spurs and all. So she has certain difficulties in being seated completely on the floor with the folded legs. One. And so at times she does experience pain in the region where the treatment was done. But for that, this treatment got over in 2019. So it is a pretty slow recovery phase right now, because the intensity of the side effects were much more initially. Now it is a lot better. So I also believe in Ayurveda and the effect of mind, which has impact on the three doshas like Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And as per Ayurveda, they say that diseases like cancer, which are actually your own body cells becoming malignant, are a manifestation of two or three doshas in combination. So, and the mind has a major impact on this, and anxiety levels and aspects do have an impact. So, we thought of, along with the palliative care, we thought of bringing in yoga and meditation also to relieve that side of things, as well as I know it has a direct impact, very direct impact, given also the fact that there is also thyroid issues with her. So I'm really hopeful, but I'd like to know whether there would be any hindrances, if at all. At times she is not able to sit straight or sit with the folded legs or anything like that. Are there a little easier alternatives to the exercises, breathing exercises, which you are teaching? And
Can she sit on a chair?
Yes, yes, very much, very much, very much.
Then I don't think she should have difficulty. Can she stand up?
Yes, yes, yes.
Our course is very easy on the body.
Acha, okay. But I don't know how long continuously she can stand. Like
No, she can take rest in between our exercises.
Okay.
We are very considerate to human comfort.
Okay. Okay.
We do not insist that you should strain your body in any way. Because the minute you strain your body, you feel discouraged to continue.
Okay, okay, okay.
So we give you that leeway to adjust your timings to suit your conveniences.
Fine, sir. Fine, sir. Thanks a lot.
Most welcome. Yes, Yvette, you have something to ask.
Yes, sir. I just, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. I just wanted to check. You have a 1.5 hour session once a week.
Right.
Do we have to do something daily? And if we have to do it, how long do we need to do it? And how many times a day?
Do you breathe daily?
Yes, yes.
So how long do you breathe per day?
24/7. 20 years.
You answered yourself.
Pardon?
You answered yourself.
Okay, so I need to do the sessions daily.
What you need to do is you improve your pattern of daily breathing. That's all.
Okay.
And by training yourself on how to breathe, over a period of time, it consistently happens. You are a right-hander or a left-hander?
Right-hander.
So you sign papers using your right hand.
Yes, sir.
How long did it take you to use your right hand?
From the time I started writing. Yes.
Yeah, so it took you probably 6 months, 10 months to become proficient in writing. So all it needs is cultivating a habit.
Okay.
Now, you have currently cultivated a habit of breathing passively because nobody paid attention to your breathing.
Yes.
You have to now cultivate a habit of a different form of breathing. So if you practice consistently for 6 months, you will notice that you are not doing anything extra. You are just breathing according to the new training pattern.
So approximately how much of time we need to consciously spend on that?
On a daily basis, minimum 40 minutes, but ideally 1 hour.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Most welcome.
Yes.
Ashim Babu.
Yeah, good evening to everybody. I'm not a good speaker like others, but I would like to say something here. I am a cancer patient and on stage 3, and I have a bone cancer, prostate cancer. But after knowing that, I joined this session. And today I believe I'll be in a position to heal myself rather than any pills or any drugs. And I'm so confident. And I'm 100% confident that I'll come out from this. That is this course. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing this. Any other questions? Oh, yes. Willpower is the biggest weapon against troubles.
Yes, and that is the reason my wife is also sitting here from today.
Oh, wonderful. How nice. Yes, Gokul, you have another question.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to know, in the same device, can my father also join along with my mom? Because at times, certain aspects, my mom is very fluent in Tamil. She does know Hindi to an extent, and English to an extent. So, can they join in the same device for the sessions? How is
Yeah,
it?
as long as there is no disturbance in the mic, and that's fine.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Any other question? I have a lot of time. Don't worry. Don't worry about me going away. If you have questions which have not occurred to you and you want to take time and form your question, I'll wait and answer. Yes, Gaurav?
Hello, Mr. Praveen. Thank you for this wonderful session. I'm
My
joining
pleasure.
from California,
Great.
and I have been introduced to this session by Harshad Hemani.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, he is a long time follower of your practices and
Yes,
sessions,
he
and he
is.
has been telling me a lot about these. And finally, I made up my mind after my sister pushed me. So here I am. I have a question. You mentioned that there is a retreat or a place in California that practices this.
Yes.
My specific question is your organization in contact with that organization, and is there a partnership, or is there some kind of a mutual understanding,
No,
learning and
there is no collaboration. We contacted that organization once, but there is no collaboration. I think they function independently.
Okay, and they follow on the same principles?
Yes. The whole course has been adapted because it was translated into English by Guru Dinglemi, who started this Institute of Mental Physics in California. So the whole course is same, the teaching style and that may be different.
Okay.
The context may be different. Yeah.
Okay. I look forward to joining the session next week.
Most welcome. My pleasure. Thank you so much. Yes, Pankaj, you have a question.
Please, Zoom. Just now I heard Ashimji has benefited from this course. So I just wanted to know, I'm a diabetic patient. I'm not I'm on the verge of just identified as sugar level has just touched that level. So I just wanted to know, will this course benefit in reducing sugar level?
Have faith and trust.
No, Ashimji, we have several students whose sugar levels have come down to normal. They are free of diabetic medicines.
I'm aware of it. I said have faith and trust.
Yes.
So, and I would also like to thank Nishit Bhai. He is the person actually told me to join this course.
Oh, okay. We have Pankaj Bhai, we have a person whose sugar levels were about 250. Today his sugar levels are 120.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
But practice sincerely is your call.
Sure.
You can't be only attending lectures, listening to me and hoping for magic. That will not happen. The effort has to come from you. Yeah.
It's my body. I have to take action.
Yes, please.
Sir, Mr. Singh Chauhan has
yes, Raj Singh ji.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have two quick questions. One is, can we do this along with our existing meditation practices? For example, I do Shambhavi Mahamudra every day morning.
Yeah.
So, can I do that?
You can do it, but at a separate time. It's like asking a person who is taking allopathic medicine, can I take Ayurvedic or homeopathic? Yes, but have a half an hour gap. So if you are doing whatever practices you are doing, you don't mix our practices with those practices. You do them separately, you do ours separately. That's okay.
Okay. And so second question is, so after 20 weeks, does it culminate to one combined exercise, or these are multiple exercises that we'll end up doing?
It becomes a set of exercises. They don't culminate into one exercise. You can call them one set of exercises. Once you learn all the breaths, every breath is a separate regimen. But when you do all the breaths, it is one set of exercises.
Thank you, sir.
Jack Juku, will this course be useful for rheumatoid arthritis persons? I am a living example. 15 years ago, I could not lift up my legs. I had stopped traveling by public transport because my legs were stiff, my knees were stiff. Today, 15 years later, I am the same person who does 110 squats every day. So I hope I have answered your question. How many weeks is the advanced course? The advanced course is divided into 4 modules. Each module is about 27 weeks. So roughly 104 weeks.
हाथ ऊंचो करो
Sharyu, you have a question?
हाँ, Praveen sir, this is Harish.
Yes.
I have a paradox. When we are little, as you said, our breath rate is somewhere around 30 to 40 breaths per minute.
Mm-hmm.
When we are adults, our breath rate is somewhere around 12 to 15 breaths per minute.
Right.
And we are right now, I'm reading somewhere that there is people are promoting slow breathing, which is like 6 BPM.
Mm-hmm.
Because they say your lifespan depends on the number of breaths.
Mm-hmm.
So the slower you breathe, the longer you live.
Yes.
So the child doesn't start panting if it runs, even though it's breathing at 30 to 40 breaths per minute. But
right.
At adulthood, we start panting when we run hard, when our breath is 12 to 14 breaths per minute. So this is a paradox. Should we increase our breathing rate or should we decrease our breathing rate?
In all this, you have missed the point of breath volume.
Okay.
So it's okay if you breathe less number of breaths per minute, but what is the volume of breath that you are taking? Are you filling up your lungs to a large volume? Then it doesn't really matter what rate you are breathing at.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk about volume in lesson number 1. We'll talk about lung volume when we begin the course next Sunday.
Okay. And is there a way to measure lung volume?
Yes. You have this PFT, pulmonary function test.
Okay, so that we can do that regularly.
You don't need to go to any institute to measure your lung capacity. It is very simple. You take a deep breath, you hold your breath, and you count mentally 1, 2, 3, 4. So suppose today you can hold your breath up to a count of 27. After 3 months, you check how much can you hold the breath. The count might have gone up to 54. You have doubled your lung capacity.
I see.
You don't need complicated gadgets. Everything is very simple. Stay simple in life and you will have lesser problems.
I love that. Good concept.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tarun.
My pleasure. If the creatinine level is 2.5, will this course bring it down to normal? What is the creatinine level indicative of? That your kidneys are straining. They're not able to do the clearance. So if you are purifying your body, then kidney is part of your body. If you successfully clean the kidney by the practices that are inculcated, your creatinine should come down. I don't have a ready-made case to identically tell you that, yes, there was a case where creatinine came down. So that's the best answer I can give you right now. But maybe you will be my first case of creatinine coming down by doing this breathing exercises.
Sir, I have a question. This is
Yes,
Radhika.
go ahead. Yes, Radhika.
Actually, just wanted to check for my dad. He has cardiomyopathy where like the cardiac muscles are weaker.
Yeah.
So wanted to know if this ideal for him, this online session is ideal for him,
Is he advised bed rest or something like that by the medical?
No.
He's up and active.
Yeah.
If he's up and active, he can. Yeah, that's okay. If he's up and active, he can do these exercises.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Most welcome. Arya is asking, are there any dietary changes to be followed? I don't interfere in your lifestyles. My only insistence is that whatever instructions we give you regarding breathing exercises and meditation, you follow those instructions. Some people ask me, can I continue drinking alcohol because I like to take 2 drinks every evening? Please go ahead, enjoy your drink. I don't interfere in that lifestyle. I'm eating non-vegetarian food. Should I become a vegetarian? Not necessary. Continue enjoying your non-vegetarian food. So I don't interfere in your lifestyle.
Sir, Pankaj has the question. He has raised his hand.
Go ahead, ask.
No, I had already asked questions.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought you already asked.
Yeah, I already asked. Okay, now I have another question.
Okay.
Can I ask, sir?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, my son, sorry, my son is 8 years old actually, and he whenever he comes, he goes out. He cough started coming. Okay, so due to this lockdown, we observed it because in lockdown he stays more in the house, so his cough was quite okay. But moment sometimes when we go out, and then we observe that he coughing started. It is the dry cough actually. So what can we do? This course will help.
He might be having dust allergy.
Yeah, maybe. The doctors suggested it's a little, sometimes it's allergic, sometimes it's asthmatic, but no, there is a clear indication symptoms. Even doctors are confused. So now he's feeling better because of rain. So dust is no more. So he's feeling better. But this coughing started mostly in the summer days.
Okay. It's also because of pollen grain. The allergies are also because of pollen grain.
Okay. So will this course be helpful in breathing pattern and anything?
Yes, but he's too young for the entire course. So maybe you can, as a father, you can teach him only pranayam after you learn pranayam. Yeah?
Yeah.
What is pollen grain?
Pollen grain is the
pollen grain. Okay,
yeah,
pollen grain. Okay.
Grain. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
Sharyu, you had another question, Sharyu?
Yeah, one more question. The deep divers that go diving, they
Right.
go 50 feet, 100 feet.
Correct.
Underwater, and they're down there for 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
On one breath. How do they manage that?
This is training. A 55 kilogram person can lift 150 kilos in weightlifting. You and I struggle to lift 40 kilos. It's all about training.
So one can hold, one can survive without breathing.
Yes.
For 15 minutes without breathing.
Yes. They have trained themselves for that.
Thank you.
We are not talking of those levels. We are talking of healthy levels to keep ourselves healthy. We are not talking of any specialized functions.
Okay. Thank you.
Most welcome. Any other question? Yes, Jaykishan, Varsha is doing well. And
thank you, sir. In fact, she insisted that I join. And I've
great.
sent quite a few friends of mine.
Wonderful.
And in US and all. But it's really heartening to know that somebody is literally reviving that pranayama. We have been doing quite a bit of yoga and all.
Okay.
And she's a great inspiration for most of my friends.
Lovely. Lovely.
Thanks a lot, sir. What you're doing is a great job.
Thank you so much. There are no restrictions from the course. The restrictions can be coming from your doctors. So if there are restrictions from your doctor, my suggestion is you please obey your doctor. I'm not a qualified. No,
sir, no. I do.
No, Jai Kishan, I'm answering somebody else's question on the chat.
Okay.
There is a question on the chat. Is there any restriction for this course, medical or any?
Okay.
So I'm answering that question. The restrictions come from the medical profession and you please obey that. Because I am not a qualified doctor to talk about any restrictions or medical practices that your doctor is advising. So if there is a conflict of instructions between mine and your doctors, you please obey your doctor, don't obey me. Any more questions?
So there are no questions on the chat.
Yes, I saw that. Thanks, Suresh.
Thank you, sir.
So if the questions are done, shall we close the session? Thank you all of you for sparing your time, and I hope to see you next Sunday.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for your
Thank you,
time.
sir.
Good night, all of you. Good morning to some of you.